Right now, I want to get into the 3 mindsets to get her to do anything you want in the bedroom. And by the end of this video, I'm also going to be giving you a bonus tip, so you want to stick around for that. And right now, we're not going to waste any time, so I'm just gonna get straight to the bat, man. Number 1 is a non-judgmental mindset. This is not just a mindset you have to have, but this is a mindset you have to establish between the two of you, because naturally, reality speaking, we are the hunters, we are the chasers, and women, they are like the lock. It's like the lock and the key, man. We all want to be a master key, but no one wants to be a shitty lock. You can go up to the thottiest chick in the room, the most promiscuous girl in the room. She could literally be a prostitute, and you can ask her like, hey, are you easy? Do you like guys fuck you easily, or do you just fuck random guys? They're all gonna say no. So naturally, women are just defensive about this. They have that, you know, what they call the anti-slut defense. This is also societal type of shit, and that all just stems into it. So when you talk to a girl, when you're with the girl alone, and for all intents and purposes, this video is in the context of a girl that is already sexually into you. You know, you guys are already getting down. So I don't want to hear anything about any Me Too charges. So when you're in the bedroom with the chick, naturally, you want to establish that you're not judgmental, that, hey, you're not going by society's rules, whatever, because you'll notice it with chicks, they kind of have that defensiveness until you let them know that, hey, as long as you don't slut shame me, I'm not gonna slut shame you. As long as you are open, whatever happens in this bedroom stays in this bedroom. That's one of the most favorite things I like to say, because it's true. Whatever happens in the bedroom should stay in the bedroom. And some bitches have a big mouth too, so you have to keep a lookout for that too. So some chicks, they'll open up, but then later on they're gossiping with their fucking friends, and you're there like, you shameless little lady. In fact, oftentimes, anytime I want to escalate and I want to kind of push the boundary and with a girl that, you know, into some new territory, I like precursoring it with phrases like, don't judge me, or like, just, are you the judgmental type? Are you closed-minded, or are you open-minded? Are you the type to just judge someone if it doesn't follow your morals? Like, if you say certain things in a way where you set it up to where your opinion is the morally superior, like socially acceptable one, women usually fold to that, and they will be like, of course I'm not closed-minded. Who wants to say they're closed-minded? Of course I'm not judgmental. Who wants to say they're judgmental? So you would establish that frame that allows her to relax, because women, when you're in the bedroom with them, if they're not relaxed mentally, it's very hard to get them to orgasm. They need to be relaxed. They're not like dudes where we can just touch ourselves and we can bust a nut. It don't even mean shit. Women, they have to be more mentally relaxed, and I mean, everyone just knows that. I'm sure if you had sex with a woman, you'll know that it's not quite as easy as you just be, you know, if you did. Number 2, which is really should have been number 1, but is the dominant frame set. You have to have a dominant mindset from the start. You have to be like God in the bedroom. You are God. I am omnipotent. Everything I say goes. I'm manifesting. You're manifesting an entire reality in the bedroom. Not just physically by getting her to dress up in the way you want, or setting up a whole fucking environmental thing, maybe music, lights, whatever it says, but also mentally. That is the most important factor, because you, like I said, you are a God. What is a God? It's a being that can manifest and create its own realities. That's what you're doing. That's what we humans have done with the society, period. And that's what you're about to do in the fucking bedroom. That's why the whole master slave role play is great, because it's like, if a chick calls you master, it gives her that mental, logical kind of excuse to finally mentally relax and completely give herself to you. But the point is that when you're in the bedroom, you cannot flinch. What you say, you can't let, like, if you say something that makes her gasp and be like, you're into that, you cannot flinch. Don't get defensive. Don't go, oh yeah, but not all the time. None of that shit, man. Everything you say is like law. Let me put it like this. You act like anything that you're into or what you say is like normal. And if anything, she's a square or just like weird. Like, what do you mean? You're not into that? Like that whole type of mindset, that whole kind of angle where whatever you say is just an automatic thing. You have to have confidence in your words, because naturally there's going to be times where women push back. I think that's one of the biggest hurdles that newer guys have, is they were like, you tell them to do something and then they're like, okay, I did it, but then she said this, so now what? And it's like, well, you didn't even try to push at all. It's like, you have to be willing to deal with those hurdles that naturally come up, and being dominant and not flinching. The same way I'm not flinching right now, I'm saying this shit with conviction. That's how you have to be. You have to speak in a way where she reads no doubt, because the moment you have doubt, I mean, there was an old Chris Rock joke about this whole thing where basically, like, if you don't ask a chick to lick your balls with some authority, if you're just like, hey, can you lick my balls, please? You know how, like, That was a terrible Chris Rock impersonation, but you know how he sounds. And when you hear that shit, it's just, it's a fact. I mean, even comedians say it, and comedians are known for saying unspilled truths about society that we don't feel comfortable saying on a regular, goofy 9-to-5, structural, kind of strict basis. But the reality is there's a lot of truth to that. There's so much truth to that. You were the leader, man. It's time for you to manifest your destiny with no doubt in your mind, period. Number 3. This is possibly the most important too. I mean, I feel like all of them are very important, but this might just be the most important one, especially long-term in a relationship. You have to establish the frame of her always wanting to please you and prove yourself in a progressive manner. Because what is happiness? Let's put it like this. If you're on a journey, a lot of times the journey is the real happiness, because a lot of times when people reach that goal, they suddenly get depressed, because when you reach the top, where is there to go but other than down? So you have to have that constant feeling of like you're progressing in a relationship, not only in your regular life, but also in your sexual life. She needs to feel like she wants to please you. She wants to impress you, because you notice with women, when they don't have respect for their partners, they don't really care about impressing him. They don't care about turning him down for a blowjob, because it's like, it don't really mean shit. It's like they don't respect that dude's fucking word. She should, let me put it like this. If you listen to most dating or most sexual advice from like sexual coaches or sexual dating experts on TV, they always say things like, you know, get some toys, get some vibrators, and get this and get that, and juggle chainsaws for the rest of eternity. But again, you have to look at it from a dualistic mind. Our reality is a sun and moon. So if you look at yin and yang, right? You are the giver. You lead, you protect, you initiate, you constantly give. Even physically during sex, you give up your seed, you give up your nut. It literally takes energy away from you. So as a man, you have to flip the roles where you are not now constantly giving, because what that's going to do is going to lead to you with a mindset of like, every week, man, I got to do something new. I gotta constantly give and give. And that shit is going to become very exhausting. It's much better to flip the role to where she is now giving and you are now commanding. You're the commander, not so much the giver, because then when you can give her commands, it gives her something to look forward to, something to work for, rather than I'm the queen and he's just gonna, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times that's what it becomes. The dudes become this logical fucking robot where it's like, we haven't had sex in a while and I spoke to her about it, how we should, and it's just awful. You're logically trying to convince a girl to have sex instead of making her, changing her emotions and making her feel that way. That is one big thing. And also at the end of the day, man, you have to understand, this is the best thing you can do other than training a girl to get off two fucking other bitches, because then you could do that for eternity and you don't have to ever worry about keeping the shit exciting. But that's some shit that's super duper advanced. We're not going to get into it into this video. But the point is that you want to set the mindset and the frame of her chasing your approval and wanting to improve, where it's a fun thing, where it's like she wants to have, there's like, you should have the feeling where you can say something to her like, man, there isn't enough time in this lifetime for the amount of things I want you to wear, for the amount of things I want to do to you, for the amount of things I want to do with us together. Like, if I could live a million different realities throughout history, I'm envious that I can't, because there's so many millions of things that I want to do to you. When you put in that mindset, it feels infinite. It creates this abundancy mentality rather than, yeah, I'm gonna be fucking you for the next 50 years, bitch. Like, you know what I mean? This is totally different. You have the power of your voice. Is the most powerful fucking thing. Again, you can manifest realities with your fucking voice. So do that shit, man. Start getting comfortable. Number one thing, besides this video, start getting comfortable with your voice, man. You see, I could come up here, I could talk shit. Some people, they don't really like it. I get downvoted or whatever the case is, and I could get flagged. But at the end of the day, you have to feel comfortable speaking with the voice that's comfortable for you. I used to read sex books, and I would read these books where they're written in a way where the dude just basically sounds like Fabio, and I'm reading it and it doesn't sound organic. And after a couple of years, I'm like, man, this shit don't sound natural to me. I'm gonna speak the way I feel comfortable. The moment you can speak the way you feel comfortable with a voice that's congruent to you, then you can manifest any reality you want in the bedroom, and one where preferably you were the leader, you were the dominant one, in a non-judgmental reality where she is the slave and wanting to prove herself to you and constantly progress, because that will naturally lead to a more fucking sustainable reality. I know at certain points it sounds like I'm bitching, but I'm not bitching. It's only because you hear a lot of dudes where they speak in a way, they talk about their sexual problems with their partners, and a lot of times when the moment you hear it, it's really more like a mindset problem, because they're starting from a terrible base where they're hoping to get sex. Like, oh man, the old lady didn't give me none this week. Like, that type of whole mindset is a terrible mindset to start from. How can she get aroused from that mindset? She's the submissive one, wanting to just be led and to please you. Like, women are awesome medics. They're awesome support roles. And that's what you got to give them, is commands. And a lot of dudes, they don't feel comfortable giving commands. You're just used to giving and giving and giving, but not giving commands, not being a leader, not manifesting a reality that she can fully give herself into mentally and be relaxed and know that she's in the arms of someone that she could trust and will lead her down a path of fucking beautiful destruction. That's what these bitches want, man. It's deep, but it's true. So if you enjoyed that dope ass video and you want to see more on dating, relationships, self-improvement, and motivational content, start now by hitting that button right there. If you want to continue your journey, Pip, hit that video right there. So with that being said, bro, unleash your best. And remember, till next time, confidence is bred by competence. Peace. See you in the next episode.